Hi, everyone, and welcome to our 13th episode. I'm your host, Darius,
And I'm Jasmine.
and in this podcast, we're going to be talking about a little bit of everything
From our lives to relationships and pop culture,
to politics, sports, music, and movies.
and whatever else sparks our interest. So, welcome to the We're Just Saying podcast. Babe, so how are you doing this week? What was that eye for? You were looking at me dirty.
No, because I was about to ask you because we were both a little silent right there.
No, I was giving it time to roll.
Oh, okay, I see. Anyway, week is going. It's all right. Like I said, I'm still without a car. Was this week going on week 3?
Yeah,
About to
3
be.
weeks on Thursday.
So the good thing is I have a community to take care of me. Bad thing is I feel like a bum nigga right now. Like I gotta keep asking for rides and shit.
Well,
Yeah. So
it is what it is. You would think that your insurance company would move a little faster. I don't know. I just have expectations out of your insurance company because
Nah.
I used to have them and they charged me up the ass, and I just felt like you're going to be expensive. I don't know how much you pay, but if you're going to be expensive, you should be top notch. And I know when I had Geico, they moved pretty quick.
I don't say. Unfortunately, I've never really had too many. I've never put a claim in, so I was never sure this. Like, and most of the time, all my other cars, all I had was liability. So it's just like, well, that's the end of that. Next car.
Right, but you have full coverage and you have State Farm, and so I feel like as soon as you put that claim in, it shouldn't have been no more than like a week and a half for them to get back to you and get everything done. Not 3 weeks.
No, I know. Believe me, they just got back to me like today. But that's the good thing. The dude, like, because I talked to them yesterday, and the dude said he was gonna call me back again today, and he actually called me back again today. Granted, it was later in the day, so it's just like I could have tried to get a move on things earlier, but it's like, all right, I'll get this settled tomorrow, and hopefully everything's settled.
So you'll be able to go car shopping. The only reason I'm saying it is because the last time I went to go buy a car, I think I was in and out in like I was in and out in like 2 hours max. I think it was really quick.
Nah, I get I don't know, because I remember the last car I had. Like, I think I figured like I could get this done on a lunch break, and that was not true. But the good thing is, like, my boss was understanding. She was like, just take the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, no, I was really surprised. I'm like, the time I bought a car before that took a little while, and the time before that took a little while.
Yeah.
So it's like when I bought this one, I don't know, maybe because at that point my credit was like amazing, so I got a good interest rate. I didn't have to finagle the payment or anything like that. I already had a really decent amount that I was putting down, so it's just like, here's the down payment. This is what I'm looking at for my payment. They put me in that, and I was out the door. It was like really fast.
Yeah, nah. This last car, because that was the first car I got from like a dealership, and yeah, that took a couple hours, and I'm just like, bro, you like most of it was just waiting though. When I actually was in front of him, that part went fast, but it was just like I was sitting in front of him, and then I ended up just waiting, and then he finally got back to me, and it's just like, yeah, you almost lost the deal, but I need this car today, so which I didn't even get the car today. I ended up they gave me their was it like not a rental loaner car, so it's just like, yeah. Other than that though, sleepy. Like, I was in the city today, and it was lovely. It was a little windy, but it was nice. But on train days, you sleepy.
What do you mean? Like, it make you tired?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I'm surprised. I feel like the drive would make me more drained than a train ride.
Well, the drive is aggravating because there be traffic. So if I was to drive down there, I would be pissed, especially when it's hot. So
yeah, going into the city, when in the summertime is ridiculous.
Yeah, but how about you though, babe? How's this week been treating you?
It's been okay. I mean, tonight is supposed to be a full moon. So I mean, I guess that means people act crazy tomorrow. I don't know. I can't really remember how it works. I just know that when I used to teach, the full moon made people act crazy. So, and then sometimes in the salon you can tell too. So Tomorrow should be interesting. I got to see my cousin today and her newborn baby.
Well,
So that was nice. We're getting ready again for yet another vacation.
it's a small vacation though. It's
Yeah, it's
nice.
just a weekend thing, but we still going somewhere. So we
Yeah,
heading to the Dales this weekend and just trying to get everybody at work prepared. And then I got to report to jury duty next week, or at least I have to call to see if I have to report to jury duty. So I'm trying to keep my fingers crossed that I will call on Sunday and they'll be like, no, girl, you ain't got to come in.
they be open on a Sunday.
Yeah, it says anytime after 6 p.m. on Friday, I have to call. So before Sunday night ends. So anytime between Friday and Saturday or Sunday, I have to call. It's a hotline that I call.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
not a person. I don't think they answer.
No, I know that, but I just feel like you ain't gonna get an answer. But I don't know. I've never
That's what
had
the
to.
paper said. The
Never
paper
had to.
literally says I have to call anytime this coming weekend, starting Friday after 6 p.m. to check to see if I have to report on Monday. And then if I do, then I just have to call every morning to see if I have to report the following day.
Mm.
Or I think it's every night. I can't remember. It's either after 6:30 p.m. or after 6:30 a.m. or something like that. So yeah, so not looking forward to that, but I am off on Monday next week. So
Hey, I'll drop you off at jury duty then.
no.
Yeah.
But no, so I'm hoping that I don't have jury duty, then I can just have Monday off and I can have a 3-day weekend. No, 4. Because I'd be out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That would be lovely. So keep your fingers crossed for me, people. Yeah. Yeah, other than that, I'm good. I'm just tired today.
Feel you. I feel you. All right. Well, with that, then let's roll into the episode. We
Okay.
got a lot loaded for you guys.
Do we?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All
Sure.
right.
Our first topic that we're going to be talking about this week is Adriana Smith. Have you heard about her?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about her.
Yeah. So she is the brain dead nurse that is in Georgia at a hospital. I can't remember the name of the hospital. But essentially she was a 30-year-old black woman living in Georgia. She was a nurse. She had a 7-year-old son, and I think she had a boyfriend, like live-in boyfriend. And she had some medical issues, which she did go to the ER for, and they ended up turning her away both times. And then she ended up waking up and like not being able to breathe. And so her boyfriend rushed her to the emergency room where they discovered that she had blood clots in her brain. They tried to take her in for surgery, but after that, it was like too late and they pronounced her brain dead. But she is 9 weeks, well, she was 9 weeks pregnant at the time. And in the state of Georgia, they have that heartbeat law that's going on now. So the hospital has decided to keep the brain dead mother alive on a ventilator to uh, essentially make her an incubator, so that way the baby can continue to grow inside of her until it's viable for birth. And so, of course, there's been a lot of different opinions online about this. Some people, oddly enough, are in favor of this and they think that this is the right thing to do. And then there are a lot of people who are like,
How
this is fucking crazy. Like, what are we doing? What
how's
is
this?
this?
How's this the right?
Frankenstein.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
How is this the right thing to do?
I don't know. I mean, some people are justifying it, saying that the baby, is alive, that the fetus is alive, that it's a baby, that it has a heartbeat. And then, of course, when you put science in there, then you're just like, this is a mother whose nutrients is coming from an IV now in order to help the baby develop. And we don't know what type of medical or mental delays that this child is going to have when it's born, if it's even born
If it makes
alive,
it,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it could not be born alive, essentially. So it's like, why put the family and her physical body through this for a 9-week pregnancy?
Is
And so, if I'm
no,
not mistaken, she is about 22 or 23 weeks pregnant, I think, now. And I think that the baby has to get to like 28 or 29 weeks in order to be considered viable to be born. But don't quote me on that because I can't remember the exact amount of weeks that it has to be. So I think they still have like another month and a half to go before they can like induce her, or I guess do, I'm assuming they would do a C-section, just cut the baby out. And then if the baby is viable, then they would keep them in the NICU.
If the baby's not, is the state of Georgia paying for this?
No, so the mother is the Adriana's mother, which her name, I have her name, April. She is what?
They not paying for it.
No. So April's mother, because Adriana was not married, so the boyfriend is not financially responsible. So then, of course, the burden of it falls on the family, and so her next of kin is her mom. And so her mom is the one who was footing the bill. So she did start a GoFundMe to help cover the cost of the medical bills, because if anybody knows, first of all, just to have a baby by itself, that's like 70, 80 grand right there, depending on, where you have the baby at and things like that. Like, it's fucking expensive to have a baby. And then on top of it, to be on a ventilator, to be put on life support
Yeah.
for 6, 7, 8, month. Well, they probably won't be on 8 months, but like,
Probably about 8
5 to 6 months to be on a ventilator.
9 weeks. Do the baby have to make it to 28
Right.
weeks?
So that's what I'm saying. I think it has to be like, I think it's as close to like 30 weeks as possible. Because I think I can't remember what the viable week is. But there's like a point in your pregnancy where the baby is considered viable, and therefore if it was to be born early, there's a higher rate that they'll survive in the NICU versus if they're born before that week. So I don't know if they're gonna wait until that particular week and then birth the baby. I don't know how to describe that, because it's like you're cutting the baby out of a dead body. So
Right. Which is crazy.
yes.
Like, I wonder, and if I guess it's state of Georgia. I know this the whole heartbeat thing, but I want like why. I wonder why they are forcing this upon these people who probably just want to put their daughter to rest, because they know that they're never going to, as harsh as this sounds, they're never going to be able to talk to their daughter again.
Right. Yeah.
You
No,
know,
it's definitely prolonging the mourning process, the
yeah,
grieving process, the closure for them. So, and I think her mom pretty much said, like, she is not against them keeping the baby alive. But she was just saying, like, she wished she had a choice in the matter, like it was forced upon
yeah,
them. And this is where it goes back to, and I know I'm happy because a lot of people are starting to say it online too. It's like there is no such thing as pro-life people. Like, the people who think that they're pro-life really aren't pro-life. They're pro-birth, because they do not care about the life after the birth.
yeah. Did you So there was actually a video I came across where this dude, he went to like a pro life rally, and was like, he like faked the petition for like, all kids get lunch or something like that. And it's just like, everybody, pretty much like everybody chips in, so all kids get lunch.
Right.
And the amount of people who didn't want to sign it. So it's
Oh, I
just
can
like, oh, so
imagine.
you want this baby to be born,
But you
but you
don't.
don't want. But after that, you're like, I don't give a fuck what happens to this baby. You know what I mean?
You don't want to assist with housing, clothing, feeding, watering,
Yeah,
caring for this child at all. You don't want to help the parents pay for daycare. You don't want to provide childcare for this kid. You don't want to provide health insurance for these fucking kids, because you're trying to take away the health insurance. It's like you don't want to do anything outside of getting this child earthside. That's it. That's all they really care about. That's it. Just forced birth.
right.
Once the baby is here, it's like, oh, well, if you can't feed them, oh, well, maybe you're a bad parent. Maybe you should have kept your legs closed. And it's like, I was trying to get rid of this motherfucker.
Right.
I literally was saying, I cannot feed this kid. I shouldn't be having one.
Right. No. So, and the crazy thing is too is like they are like, yeah, like I said, I know that I'm sure that she wouldn't be against it, because there's a granddaughter, but for her not to have a say, and then them also like, we're gonna bill you. One
Yes.
of them ain't happening.
That's how I felt. I felt like if this is the case, like, I've already lost my daughter. I don't know what's going to happen with this unborn
Yeah.
grandchild of mine. I already have another grandchild that's like, don't know what's going on either, because it's like all they told the 7-year old was like that his mom is sleeping. Because what the fuck do you say? Because you can't say that your mom is dead. Because my mom is laying in the bed over here on a
Right.
ventilator. It looks like we bury dead people. We put dead people in the ground. We don't just let them sit in a bed
You're
for
smart.
months.
You're smart. With a 7-year-old? You're a smart 7-year-old.
Well, I think most people. I mean, I don't know. I knew what dying in a funeral was at 7 years old. So I feel like most kids will understand. Like at some point in their early years, they probably had to deal with somebody dying, whether it was a great grandparent or something like that, where they know like somebody dies, you're not gonna see them again. Like that means death means they go away. You don't see them again. Not I can go to the hospital and visit them, but they can't talk to me. They can't interact with me. They can't do anything else. So she's dead. She's deceased, and they are using her for a fucking science experiment.
You think that's what it could be?
Oh, I think
That's a
so.
good.
And I'm like, it's kind of scary because it's like, again, I have to rewatch Handmaid's Tale, so that's one of my things. Once I finish watching The Rookie, which I'm on season 6, so I just feel like it's almost giving like Handmaid's Tale vibes. It's kind of like because again, the big problem in a lot of the countries, it's not just the United States, is population decline right now. So there are more deaths than births happening because people cannot afford to have fucking kids, or people decide like, hey, instead of getting pregnant and putting my life on the line, which that's a whole nother thing. I have statistics on the mortality rate of the United States, births in or for women in the United States versus other countries, and specifically for Black women in the United States versus other women in the United States. But besides all of that, it's expensive as hell to do anything in any country right now. It's hard to get health care in the United States, so therefore it's scarier to have a baby. Then once you get that baby, now you got bills that you're gonna have to pay on top, medical bills. Like a lot of people are in medical debt. Like some people are having to choose between paying their, mortgage or their rent or getting medicine that they need. And imagine you having a kid that's born with like special needs and things like that. Like I shouldn't say that the rate is higher because I don't really know. I feel like a lot of times a lot of babies with disabilities, I think they died a lot of the times
Do
back
they?
in the old days.
Oh, well, I think they if not, then they like killed them.
Yeah, or they like sent them off to like be in a home. I don't know. I be listening to some podcasts and I be listening to a lot of people like in the 1930s and 40s that would have a kid and they just like, oh, we can't take care of this kid. They're gonna go live in an orphanage. They just like
Oh,
fucking
did they?
drop their kids off at a
Oh,
fucking
hey, first of all,
orphanage.
that's way better than my thought. I thought they was like, here's the river.
Well, I don't know, but you could have had people out there doing it, and I know like the 1800s. I feel like it was probably the same way. It's kind of just like people back then, if they had kids that were like disabled or they couldn't afford to take care of them, they kind of just like pawn them off on the system. And now you really can't do that, if your kid gets taken away from them, they go into foster care and things like that. But a lot of the times I feel like people are forced to have these kids, they can't afford them, so then they're deciding like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to I'm like, I watch these ladies or these men over here struggle. I don't want that for my life. I want to be able to travel. I want to chase my career, because now that women are allowed to have careers, I don't have to depend on you to open up a bank account or to buy a home, or to
What? You need to bring
right, to
those
get a
sounds
credit
back.
card. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's like, yeah, because I was reading a statistic, I think it was Yale university that started allowing women to attend in like the 1960s or something like that. And I was like, that's crazy as fuck, because
That's around the same
both our
time.
parents and our great, our grandparents were alive, in the 60s. This
Yeah.
is not that long ago. Like the 60s is not that long ago, and we were still dealing with shit like women and people of color weren't allowed to do shit. Like I feel like sometimes people try to make like it's so
Long ago.
long ago. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that was like hundreds of years ago. Like, no, that was
Yeah.
60 years ago. Like,
That's like when the color pictures of Martin Luther King start coming out. Like it was not that long ago. Like they just show you the black and white pictures because I know growing going in school, like if it wasn't like a book cover, all the pictures of him were in black and white, and it's like this is my mama remember him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
Like
like what's the
Martin.
girl Ruby Bridges? Like Ruby Bridges is like 60 years old. Like this.
Who was Ruby Bridges?
Oh boy, we gonna cut this.
Is that the girl who the schools?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my bad. I
We gonna cut that part out.
no, keep it up in there.
Okay.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
About the school. She's what's the name of the thing? Oh, I want to say color barrier, but that's not it. It's like
It was the board, Brown versus the Board of
education.
Education.
There we
Yeah.
go. Thank you.
And so she was the first, like, they ended segregation in schools. I believe it was Arkansas, right? It's either Arkansas or Oklahoma. I can't remember the exact state, so don't quote me on that. But she was the one who was, she went to school, first black girl to go to the school with the white people, and it was like a big deal. They were, throwing rocks and shit at her on the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Jerry Jones, the owner, I think the owner of the Cowboys was there.
yeah.
And it was just like, it's like, he was like, and he told people, he was like, I was just here with my friends. Like, nah, you was throwing stuff at that. Yeah.
Get them niggas out of here. Yeah. But it's like stuff like that, and like they try and make you feel like it was so long ago, and it's like, she's alive.
Right.
She's my mom's age. Like, what are you talking about? Like, come on, girl. Like, stop it. But yes, so let me see if I can pull up my statistics. My laptop keeps So for the black women, their maternal mortality rate is 50.3 deaths per 100,000 live births. And for women, for white women, it's only 14.5. That is a fucking drastic ass difference.
Is that about three times that? Almost 4 times that?
Yeah, it's like a crazy amount. It's like, wow, why is that such a huge gap? And so then for Hispanic women, it actually goes down. So it's 12.4 deaths per 100,000 lives, or live births, and then for Asian women, it's 10.7. And then for the United States overall, it's 32.9 deaths per 100,000 live births, compared to other countries that average about 7.
Damn. That's 4 times as high. So
yeah. So other high income countries is specifically what they were saying. So people who earn the same amount of money that we do. Obviously, we're not comparing to like third world countries where they have less access to healthcare and things like that. But it's like other countries whose citizens make just as much money as we do, and live in homes and pay taxes and shit like that. Like 7 compared to 30, almost 33 women that die.
I wonder why do you think that would be?
Because one, we don't have guaranteed health insurance for everybody. That's the number one thing. So it's kind of like, I'll give myself an example. I don't have health insurance right now. So if something is wrong with me, I really have to decide, do I really want to go to the doctor, like the emergency room, because I'm going to be stuck with a bill. You know what I mean? My insurance is not going to cover it. And even if I did have insurance, I have a deductible. So I have to come out of my pocket so many thousands of dollars to hit that every year before my insurance actually starts to kick in and cover certain things. Now, of course, your preventative care, like your annual visits and things like that, are usually covered with like a copay and stuff like that. But for the vast majority of the United States, they don't have health insurance. They're like me. So if you wind up pregnant, do you go to the doctor right away, or do you kind of like, okay, I'm gonna wait? If there's any like complications, I have like bleeding or anything like that, then maybe I'll go to the emergency room. Then maybe they can help me out. Like that's a lot cheaper than going to have regular annual or regular visits where you go and you get the blood test done, you go and you get your ultrasounds done, you go and you get the heart monitoring to make sure that everything is doing okay. Like they can't afford it, so they don't get it done, and then that's how they end up with preeclampsia or diabetes, or what's it called? The fallopian tube pregnancies, things like that. Like all of those things can kill you.
Because that just reminded me, like, people Ubering to the hospital instead of taking ambulance. It's just like it's just that should let you know where your health care is when people are like, nah, don't call an ambulance, call an Uber.
Yeah, it's the ambulance, and then those flights when they have to like fly people certain places, the helicopters, the mancopters.
Oh, You get charged for that?
Oh yeah, they charge you for that. That is not free.
I wish the fuck they put me down.
They charge you for that because I remember when I used to live in Macomb, people used to have to use it, and it's like
A medevac,
medvac, yeah. And so I can't remember because I think what is it for an ambulance? Is it like $6,000 or $2,000, something like that?
Is it that much?
Yeah, I think it's like it's a few $1,000s for an ambulance.
A few thousand. I know, like six. I took it like 600, but maybe that's just going into the ERs, like 600 or something like that, like off rip. But I know that it's a certain amount to you when you get into the ambulance, but
So without insurance, a ride can range from $500 to $3,500. Um, okay, so that's a little bit less than I thought. I thought it was ranging around
okay.
like
But
12 or like 2,000 to like $5,000. So it's a little bit cheaper than I thought, but I still think that's ridiculous. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, the helicopters, I think that's like 20 grand.
I wish put me down, put me on the back of a coyote, and let him run me to the hospital. Cause yeah, there's
So
nothing.
the average cost of a life flight air ambulance ride is between $12,000 and $50,000.
I give them a fake name, then don't tell them I'm me.
It's like, yeah, I didn't die, but y'all fucking killing me with that.
Right.
Now I'm gonna have a heart attack because I have now.
You should have left me out there.
Because it's like, now I got like, let's just estimate $15,000 for this life flight that I have to take to this hospital. You know they charge you like, I don't know, a couple $1,000s just for walking in the fucking door. And then every doctor that touches you gets a little, gets a little piece of your money. So they get coins from you too. So it's kind of like Mario, when you had like the little cube, but he hit it and the coins keep coming out. It's like every time they do anything to you, so there go more money just adding up.
I went a couple different ways with that. I also went to Mario the singer, like what he got, but I knew initially both when I thought of Mario and Luigi, and then it went to Mario the singer, and I was just like, this nigga gonna sing what he want from me.
No,
but
Mario the video game.
I got you.
Because I just like, it's crazy. I still remember the bill that I got from having my son. It's kind of like, I didn't have to pay for it because I had insurance at the time, but it's just like they send it to you so you can like see how much they charge you for everything. And like the IV bags where it's just saline solution, like $150 for these. And it's like they pay like barely any money to get these things, and then they upcharge you so much because they have to turn around and like pay everybody who essentially touched the IV bag that day.
Yeah, no, I will say that like my son was under like state's insurance, so I know we didn't pay too much out of pocket, if anything. I think the state of Illinois had us. So yeah, so the good thing on that is just like I didn't have to see. So I truly don't know the price.
Oh, they didn't send you a bill?
I'm sure they did.
Or you just never looked at it?
What I'm gonna do? What you want me to do? The baby here?
I think they just send it to you just so you know.
Oh, is that what that was?
Send gigs just so you can be like, cost $1 million to have a baby in the United States.
Okay, I didn't see. So if I didn't see it, it don't exist. But no, so anyway, back to the topic at hand. All right, so is it so they're gonna try to deliver this baby at the 28 weeks, or they're gonna try to get it to full term?
I don't know exactly how far along into the pregnancy they're gonna go, but they're gonna try and take it as far as they can medically wise, and then they'll try and deliver the baby. I'm assuming whatever is a safety window, because essentially from what I heard, it's like the doctors are like afraid that they're gonna get retaliation from the state if they didn't keep the baby alive. And I'm like, I call bullshit, because no one is legally requiring them to keep her alive. Nobody is legally requiring.
I thought it was the law of the state though.
No. Because of the heartbeat law, they're saying that if we don't keep her alive, we could possibly
Oh, they
get
don't
in
want to.
trouble.
Yeah, they don't want to
We're
risk
trying to
getting
just
into
cover
trouble.
themselves. And
Yeah.
it's like, so you have malpractice insurance and you could just go to court and be like, hey, she died. She was only 9 weeks pregnant. The pregnancy was not viable at the time that the mother died. Obviously, we left the decision up to the family. The family decided to take her off life support. She passed away. Therefore, the fetus passed away as well. They could have left it at that. Like, that is the natural way things go. If she would have died at home before she got to the hospital, you know what I mean? Like, the fetus would be dead.
Mm-hmm.
The pregnancy would have ended. If she would have died at home before they got to the hospital, there would be nothing we would be talking about right now. But because she died in the hospital,
And she was pregnant.
it's like now all of a sudden we have to make her heart still pump. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have no legal obligation to do it. It's just you're doing it because you might get in trouble.
Okay, so that wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay. I
I
thought
feel
they
like
were.
something.
Okay, I thought they
Yeah.
were being forced
No.
to keep this lady alive, like the hospital too.
Yeah. Nothing
And
that I read says that.
okay, so they're just covering all the bases,
Yeah.
which, like I said, unfortunately, this is America. The hospital is a business, and they are not going to risk a fine or whatever the consequences could be for letting that go. I'm not saying that it's right, but
They do.
hospitals
Hospitals
are
do
business.
foul shit all the time. Like if you were really, and I don't know which hospital she went to, so I don't know if this is the same hospital, but she literally went to the ER complaining about having headaches,
If they did their job
and
right,
they sent her home.
yeah.
So if you were so worried about covering your fucking tracks, would you not have taken care of her then because she was pregnant? She shouldn't have been taken.
Yes.
You should be like, oh my God, this pregnant lady is having headaches. Let's keep her. Let's monitor her because that baby, because once you become pregnant, you are no longer the patient. The baby is the patient. The baby is the important thing. You are just a fucking surrogate. You are a surrogate to bring a life into this world, and that's it. So they should have been like, the surrogate has a headache and the baby is a priority, and let's make sure that this baby is okay, and that therefore we need to take care of the mother. They didn't do that.
You right.
They sent her home because they don't give a fuck. It's all fake and pretend. It is pretend we care about about retaliation. We care about the consequences to fighting, and it's like you don't give a fuck.
No, you could be right. I don't get it. That's the
How do
only
you think
thing.
you would feel if you were you were the father in this situation?
Well, because do I know that I'm the father of this baby?
Yeah, he knows that he's the father.
I don't know.
He took her to the hospital.
Okay.
They know
No,
together.
I'm just joking. Ooh, that's actually a very good question. How would I feel if I was the father? Because it's just like there is my child in there. However, I would still feel like I would probably be working with her parents. Like, say if the parents were given a choice, I would try to work with them. I would probably tell them like, if the parents were like, yeah, we gotta let her go, I would definitely understand that situation. Like, okay, let's not hold on to this grieving thing, and not to sound like rude or like a dick or anything, but also it's like I'm not trying to be a single father of two. You know what I mean?
I don't know if he's the father of the 7-year-old.
Oh,
Is the only thing. I don't know that for a fact. So I don't know if
okay.
this would have been his first child or if he has other children. I don't know
All
the
right.
situation.
So yeah, so it'd be that kind of situation, but either way, I would still feel a way about pretty much these strangers who fucked up in the first place getting to make these decisions over, next to kin, or, like I said, even me who's the father of the child. Like I said, I get that they weren't married, so it's just like, all right, well, you don't really have a say. You might have to take a blood test when the baby is born to even establish your paternity.
Yeah. Because I was wondering that too.
So it's just like, yeah. So, I mean, that part would truly suck. And it's just like to take this away from the people because of you're scared of some law that might not even apply in this situation. It's fucked up.
Would you feel differently if she was further along in her pregnancy? Like, let's just say she was like, I don't know, like 24 weeks pregnant, and they were like, hey, we can keep her on this ventilator, and then the baby will keep growing until it's,
Well, yeah, well, I mean,
oh, developed enough to come out.
9 weeks is that still technically, isn't that still the first
That's still first
trimester?
trimester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when like the further along you get, I can understand because now your baby at 24 weeks or something, like the baby's like developing, lungs and all of that jazz. I don't know what gets developed, but I know the baby
Yeah.
is further along,
Right.
and maybe it's just like, okay, we just need to keep her on the what you call for
Like a month or something.
yeah, like a month, you know what I'm saying, till she gets to, whatever, let's say 32 weeks. Then she's fine.
Yeah. So you would be more likely to be like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Would you be worried about the baby being born? Like,
I would be,
because essentially, let's just say this is biologically your kid. You're now financially responsible for every medical
right.
and mental disability that this kid has on for the rest of their life. And you know what I mean? Like, if they're born like disabled, that's on you now as a single parent to take care of.
Yeah.
And possibly for the rest of this child's life, they might be dependent.
Yeah. And that's why my first thing would be like, hey, if y'all want to end this, we can end it. Because, yeah, it's not fair, too. Like I said, unless the hospital or the state is going to pay for this baby's medical, medical fees, medical dues, for the rest of their life, if there is complications, then sure, go for it, have at it. But if y'all just going, all right, we kept her alive, now she can be put to rest, and now here you go with $1 million worth of medical expenses that you're gonna have through your lifetime.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, it's all fucked up.
Yeah. I think best case scenario for this whole situation, kind of what I hope happens, is that I hope that the baby is born. I hope that the baby is healthy. I hope that the baby goes on and lives a fruitful life, because that's the only. I mean, it's kind of like a catch-22. I don't want it to happen because I don't want them to think that they can do this again. But I kind of don't want. I don't want the baby to come out either deceased or to come out with issues, because it's like, it's a burden on the family. It's like, it's so unfair to the family, especially if the baby dies. It's like,
yeah, and it's like
I had to wait months and months and months and months and months of suffering and not being able to bury my child, and then the fetus that you decided to keep growing, like, didn't even make it, and so now we just did all of this for no reason,
for nothing. And I got all these medical, like, y'all are just making my life more complicated than it needs to be. So it's just like, yeah, like it's not fair to any. I don't think it's fair to anybody in the situation. Might not, and because it's like, it might not be fair to the baby, and not fair to the parents, not fair to the father
or the sibling,
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, it's all around.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what the outcome of this turns out to be. I'm curious to see how this is going to affect abortion and medical laws in the future. You know what I mean? Like, is this going to trickle out to other states that are going to start doing this on a regular basis? And I'm curious if this was a white woman, would this have gone on as far as it did?
No. If it was a white woman, when the first time she went into there with a headache, they probably would have taken care of her.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that they would have.
Like I said, yeah. I watch a lot of medical shows, and this has been a topic in like each medical show.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, for whatever reason, I'm not sure if it's the doctors or whatever, but they're like the amount of times that they actually turn away Black women and some other women of color is like for no reason, like because like, oh, I don't know if they're taught like their immune system, like minority immune systems are stronger or whatever, or why don't they just get the same treatment as everything?
It's a medical bias. So pretty much, essentially, a lot of doctors for a long time did think that Black people had higher pain tolerances, so that means that they didn't need medicine and pain relief and things like that. They think that people are asking, like, especially when it comes to pain, like they think that they're trying to abuse the medication, so they deny them. And then a lot of times it's just like they don't understand that our genetics are different. You know what I mean? Like so symptoms that might show up in a white person might not be the same as a person of color or a black person, or a Hispanic person, whatever the case may be. Like biologically, we're all very similar, but there are some differences.
Yeah.
And so we all need to be treated differently.
But still, though, if I come in for headaches, examine me.
No, yeah, but I'm saying, like, for instance, like if I come in and I say I have a headache, don't just assume, oh, like you just have a headache.
Yeah,
like
but
assume like, oh, Black women might be more susceptible to preeclampsia, so let's take this headache serious. Let's check her blood pressure. Maybe there's something else going on.
That's something that you
she
would
could
think.
be more. It's like we have like higher risk factors for certain things, so you can't just brush me off.
Right, but that's it. Like instead of brushing anybody off, like just examine us all the same, black, white, in between, whatever. I came in for that. Yes, you might be more susceptible to preeclampsia or whatever. So it's like, let's shut that. But why does that even have to be like, oh, well, she's black, she might be like, why? Hey, let's check this out anyway. And I get that, it sucks because I know it's procedures and shit. So that's just gonna cost you more and more money, which is, like I said, is going back into our shitty ass health system. But at the same time, it's just like if you treat everybody the same, you get the same result. Maybe we can get these numbers down where we don't lead the world in what do you want to call I want to say like pre-labor death or labor death or maternal. What do you call it? What would you call it?
It's maternal death.
Maternal deaths. Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, and I think we're saying the same thing. I think we're just wording it differently. So pretty much what I'm saying is like, you want to be taken seriously the same as everybody else, but like medically wise, like, so I'll give you an example of this. When I went to cosmetology school, everything that we learned was for straight Caucasian hair. Knowing well that textured, curly, kinky, coily hair needs to be treated differently. But the standard was essentially white people hair. Mm-hmm. And so for medical school, the standards for teaching health is essentially white people. And so, yes, we all want to be taken seriously when we go to the doctor, but we all don't want to be treated the same because our symptoms aren't going to present the same way.
I get that, but that sounds like both of those things need to be updated, right? Because you're not like 100%. You're not always going to have a white person come to you for hair needs or medical needs.
Right. So you should learn the whole. Exactly. You should learn the whole thing.
And it's like, and like I said, because I remember going to the hospital one time and literally Googled the same thing that the doctor came in and told me. So it's like, I feel like they just used their doctor Google. I don't know what it is, WebMD. But it's literally like they came in and confirmed the same thing I had just looked up. Now, sometimes, the Google can go crazy, but the fact that I found the same thing that the doctor had found, and I had spent a little, like 30 less minutes to see like what the fuck was wrong with me, it's like, huh.
I mean, sometimes Google can be right. A lot of times it's wrong. So that makes it just a coincidence.
I get that. Believe me, I've also looked up like, oh man, my intestines are hurting, and WebMD said you're dying. You died 5 minutes ago, type of thing. So I get that. It's just like, oh no, but yeah.
All right, babe. Well, that's all I have to say about that topic. Praying for the family.
And what's the lady's name again?
Adriana Smith.
All right. Well, prayers go out to Adriana Smith and her family through their hard time. And as a country, as we know, as a civil war taking place in California, we got to do better.
There's not a civil war going on. They're trying to incite one. People are peacefully protesting, and our president's
but the National Guard is out there
because of our president.
Yeah,
our president said that.
No, I get that. That's what I'm saying. We are on the verge. Like the governor of California and the president is beefing, and this is like the third time they've been beefing, and this is like the second or third state that the president has beefed with, which is crazy.
He just don't like Democratic governors. That's what it is. Anybody because he hates JB.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like he was beefing with Illinois too.
He was beefing with Illinois.
Yeah, so it's just like, all right. He also beefing.
But he gonna fuck around and find out, because Illinois and Cali, you can't mess with Chicago and Los Angeles. Sorry,
not at all.
We hold our own here.
Even though anyway, we're gonna get way off topic. All right. Any other thoughts about Adriana Smith?
No, that's it. If we have any updates, we can talk about it in the future. The next thing that we have to talk about is another reaction to a TikTok. It's actually 2 TikTok videos. There's 2 parts to it, and it has like a little bit of a background story to it too. So I want you to watch both videos. And it's essentially a co-parenting dilemma.
Oh, I wonder if this is the one I might have heard today.
What did you watch?
Is it a dude who pretty much won his case in court and is
now he's regretting it?
Yeah, now he's like mama on the way to Cancun. Okay, yeah. I didn't hear the full thing.
Bro, do you hear yourself though? You not gonna come get them?
Okay, first of all, where are my kids at?
They in the house. Why do it matter what they have? You're not come get them.
In that case, no, I'm not coming to get them. You took me to court. You damn near made me lose my job. You took these kids out of state. You think I'm not to fucking come and get them?
Well, where I was gonna take? I live in Georgia. Where I was gonna take them, bro? And did you lose your job? You ain't lose your job, right?
That's what you wanted. You wanted them so bad. Have them. That's what you wanted. Now you got it.
Right. Listen. Oh my God! But when you had custody, bro, I was still there helping. I was still helping when you had custody. Can you come? I gotta work. Can you come get them?
No, I cannot. I'm on my way to Cabo.
Bro, all you listen. All you wanna do is argue, bro. That's why I went to court in the first place. It's cool. Bye, man. I can't do it, bro. Oh my God. Unfit mom as fuck, bro. That's why I took the kids in the first place.
Yeah, so I'm gonna address this one time and one time only. As you can see, I'm a peaceful girly. I'm sitting outside in the sun, feet in the grass, having a great day. So I know y'all seen that video of my baby daddy on the phone damn near in tears because I wouldn't go and get the kids. Mind you, he knew that I was going on my trip because my kids have been speaking about, me and my kids have been speaking about this trip. I talk to my kids every day. I know where my kids are all the time. I talk to them plenty. So granted, he did go to court. He did take me to court. He made this whole big ass thing, and I feel like it was because he was mad that I was cool. I was moving on. I told him that this shit wasn't working. I was moving on. Mind y'all, we have big kids. Our kids are 8, 11, and 17. I've had them all this time. I allow you to go out and do whatever it is that you need to do to be a good father. I don't interfere with any of y'all relationships. I don't talk bad about you. I do need help because it's 3 kids. I'm full-time in school, full-time working. You decided to move to Georgia. I didn't tell you to move to Georgia. You decided to move to Georgia. So once you did win custody, once you went into court telling all the motherfucking lies and shit, and you moved the kids to Georgia, I ain't saying it ain't no longer my responsibility, but damn, I can only do so much from where I'm at. I'm in Cincinnati. You want me to stop and drop everything that I'm doing when they're not in danger, they're not in trouble? Just like when you moved and and I had to get a babysitter and I had to put them in daycare and I had to put them in summer camp. You need to do the same shit. It's that simple. Work don't stop for me, school don't stop for me, and work don't stop for you. Handle your business. You wanted them so bad, like I said, have them. Stand on it. I will help when it's my turn. I don't mind my child support is paid. I ain't behind the child support or none of that shit. But what you're not going to do is try to sit up here and act like I don't help you with them kids, because I definitely do. I do my part. I'm just not overstepping. So whatever that looks like to you, you want a custody so bad, you want a child support so bad, you wanted to be this full-time dad who can do everything, do it. Let me be the weekend parent. Finally, I've been a mom since I was 16. Have it. Have it. And no, I do not feel bad. Y'all can't make me feel bad. My kids know me. They love me. We talk every day. If they need something, they can pick up the phone and call me anytime they please. But that nigga is really delusional. And I'm going to leave that right there.
Okay, babe. So those are the 2 videos. That was the dad first trying to call the mom and put her on blast by recording it. And then that was her responding to it. So I'll let you go first. What are your thoughts?
my first thoughts is I wonder what he was able to prove in order for her to lose custody of the kid.
So can I give you background?
Yeah, give me a little background.
So basically, from what I heard online is that she could not afford a lawyer. Mm-hmm. And so once she got to a certain amount, she's like, I can't afford to keep paying to go into court with you. And she's like, I'm going to lose my job because I keep trying to take off work to go to court. So she was like, I give up. Like, if you want the kids, then take the kids.
Oh, so she kind of gave them.
Yeah, she was like, I'm not going to court anymore. I quit.
Oh, okay.
And so he won custody.
Well, he won custody.
That's how he got custody of the kids. Not that the judge was like, You're a shitty mom. She was just like, I can't afford to keep going to court to fight over custody. Okay. So I will give you full custody.
Now, that's the case. Because I will give... Hold on, I got to move this. All right, if that is the case, I don't know what this dude is crying about. Because it sounds like they live in different states. And it sounds like he's doing... First of all, the kids are... Couple of things. If the kids are 17, 11, and 7 or 8, the 17 could watch the 2. What do you he talking about? I gotta go to work. Go to work, bro. The kids right. Like, I'm thinking, like, at first I was thinking, like oh, these like little kids. Like, oh, okay, you got like 3, under 10 or something like that. You got a damn near adult and a teenager, You got some big kids who know enough to survive for an 8-hour shift for you to go to work, at least. So I'm not sure what he's...
What, can I give you more back? He's a over-the-road truck driver. Allegedly, that's what I saw online. That he drives over the road. So I don't know. But still, I think at 17, you can still be at home and watch the kids overnight.
Okay. But
I think so. I don't know the state rules in Georgia.
So even him being a truck driver... What did he think was going to happen with him getting custody and then moving to a different state? First, even if she wasn't on her way to Cabo, which is honestly, that I love it. Like, I honestly love it. Like, nah, this is what you wanted. This is what I'm all for that, man or woman. Like, no, this is what you wanted. Don't come to me now. I'll see them when I see them. But yeah, I wonder what I wonder what he thought was gonna happen if he moved out of state into how is she supposed to drive from Cincinnati to Georgia? I think did she say that they moved to Georgia?
Cincinnati. Yeah, they're in Georgia. She's in Ohio.
Because that still sounds like it's a drive or a plane ride. So I wonder what he expects her to do. Even if say she was just at home, is he like, all right, come, I'll be there in 12 hours. It's like, bro, at that point, go get you a sitter or something. So that's funny though, because it's like it really is coming from like what you hear a lot of women say is what this dude's saying. He pulled that phone out. I ain't gonna hold you. This might be a little toxic masculine. There's a lot of feminine way he's living there. He's like, I'm gonna put this phone out and record her because she a deadbeat. It's a little sassy, my guy. And I'm not the type to normally say that, but it's like, take care of your job. You a dad in a different state than your kid's mother. What are your thoughts, babe? You look like you about to go for it.
No, I'm not gonna snap. First of all, go off, Queen. I hope you had a time. I hope a time was had in Cabo. That's all I can say. Yay! It's time for moms to be the weekend parent. Fuck them kids. Let them daddies. I say it all the time. As much money as I spend on my kid every month, and I love my kid to death, and I love being a mom. As much money as I spend on him every month, I would love to switch places financially. I would love to be the one on child support. I would love to pay $490 a month. I would love if that was my only financial obligation for my child. I would have so much money. I would be so happy. I would be taking a trip to Cabo every goddamn month.
Cabo, you be on the phone. I'm in Cabo.
Fucking kids cost, nigga. I think personally, I think he did it to be spiteful. I did go down a rabbit hole. I went onto his TikTok and I did go onto hers. This girl is beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's got a great body. She seems like she got a good head on her shoulders. He seems like he's an okay guy, but he looks like he really. She did him a favor by being with him. Essentially, is what I would say. I don't know if it was love in the beginning. Maybe he looked a little differently when they first started dating. Obviously, they have a 17-year-old together, so they've been together for a very long time. He seems like, maybe they grew apart, but it seems like she's in the gym all the time. Like, she really takes care of herself. So she's definitely like, I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm going to easily move on. I don't know if that's the case for him. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he's just kind of like a little bit upset. I don't want to speculate, though, because I don't know the reasons why. It seems like it was a little spiteful, though, that it's like, I'm going to take the kids away. She's such a horrible mom. So one, if she's such a horrible mom, why are you calling her to ask her to be with your kids? If you think that she was a danger or she could not properly take care or provide and care for your children, and you felt it was so bad that you need to go to court and remove the children from her, why are you then trying to place the children back with her? I think he bit off more than he could chew.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like, and I say it all the time, and I love you to death, but I feel the same way about you too. People think that they can do what women do. Not people. Men. Men think that they can do what women do.
We can.
Men think that they can go to work, keep the house clean, pay all the bills, take care of these kids, run them to and from places, pay for the daycare, like do all of this shit, keep it all organized, make sure the kids go to the doctor, make sure they got snacks and shit for all this.
We definitely can do all that. It's not a woman trait, or men can do just the same thing.
Some men can. I'm not going to say all. Some men can. But I feel like a lot of times, you're not mentally capable of the stress that is required to work full time and to parent single.
I gotta disagree with you. As a man who's been in that boat,
you have not been in that boat for a long time. It wasn't a long amount of time. It was a short amount. Everything is great. Things in temporary can be done. I'm not saying they can't be done. I'm talking about a long term. I'm talking about me. 15 years, almost 16 years of being a single parent is totally different than having your child for a year or two.
But it's not to say, but I feel like that's taken away from just because you've had the opportunity. I did it.
I didn't want the opportunity.
I know you didn't want that. I didn't want that either. But you, at the end of the day, you did what you had to do. And I feel like I don't think there's a gender role to doing what you got to do to take care of your kid. I think most times than not, it may be women who end up with the case. But I think if you get the right dad with the right intentions.
That's what I said, if you get the right dad.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of times, and again, I'm not saying this to be mean or anything. I just think a lot of times it's like we're raised as women to know and to expect.
Sure.
Being a parent is going to be a challenge. It's going to be a struggle. You're going to be required to give up your body, give up your brain, give up your time, give up your money. Like, we are molded to that. I don't necessarily think, and it's not anybody's fault except for parents, of course, raising their kids and society in general. But it's like, it's not the man's fault that that you're not raised that way, not taught to be like, hey, you need to physically, mentally, financially, time-wise, you need to be able to sacrifice all of that for the next 20-something years of your life, because that is what is required to be a parent. And not all women do it. There are a lot of deadbeat women out there that don't take care of their kids. And then the grandparents end up having to take care of the kids, or, another family member, or whatever the case may be. Or the dad in some cases. But it's like, a lot of times I feel like when men are co-parenting their kids with the woman and she is taking on most of the work, and they're like, oh, I can do that too. And then it's like their turn to start doing it. It's all of a sudden, it's like, I feel like shit hits the fan a lot of the times. Not all the time, but I feel like a lot of times they bite off more than they can chew. They realize like, oh shit, this kid is sick. I have to take off work. I got to go pick this kid. Now I got to take this kid to the doctor. Now I got to make sure that the kid has medicine. I got to make sure that I'm off work the next couple of days because this kid is not better. They can't go back to daycare if they have a fever. They got to be fever free for 24 hours. okay, now that means I'm not getting paid for these next couple of days if I don't have PTO or, like time off and things like that, benefits. So now I got to figure out how am I, and I still got to pay for daycare for this week. Daycare is still going to charge me for this week, no matter whether or not my kid goes or not. So now I got extra medicine I got to pay for. I got, gas from running around. You're up all night because you're tired because the kid is puking on you or crying or just want to be clingy with you. Like, it's a lot that goes into it. And then on top of it, now after being tired for several days, you got to now get up, go to work, take that kid to daycare, and you probably deep clean your house at the same time because the kid is sick. There's germs every fucking where, so you got to clean your house all at the same time. You still got to go grocery shopping. You still got to cook. And maybe you still got a man now, a man somewhere that you're dating. You could be dating. Now you got to still make sure you pay attention to that. Like, it's a lot to juggle being a parent in general. And so I feel like this man probably was like, I'm going to take my kids and I'm going to, she's going to pay me child support. I'm not going to pay her child support. I'm going to be the one getting the money. And it's like, you realize that those coins don't go too far, especially when you got 3 kids. It's like, okay, so I still need somebody to clothe and feed and take care of these kids when I go to work and you're on the road driving.
Yeah.
Somebody needs...
I don't think he, like I said, it could have been like a spiteful thing because I don't think he thought that through.
He didn't think it through. And then it's like to then move to a different state. Like, my child's father is in a totally different state. I'm not expecting him to, if my son is sick, to make his way up here to take care of him or anything like that. His only obligation right now as a parent is to provide that child support every single month. If he decides to call, he calls. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's like, if there's nothing I can do, I can't force it. At the end of the day, still got to get up and do what the fuck I got to do. So, again, you feel like a lot of men can do that?
I feel like men can. I'm not going to take, because there's nothing that you found that, like I said, even though it's a small sample size that I have, it's nothing that I haven't done. It's nothing that I couldn't continue to do. Yes, it would have probably been hard. It probably would have been hard. And when I say probably, it would have been hard, but I'm more than capable of doing it. For 15, 18, 20 years, I don't think that, I think growing up, women do have more of a mentality to do that, but I don't think it's out the realms of something that a man can do or that some men don't do.
No, again, I had a single dad for a couple of years. My mom passed away, so it's like he had 3 kids at the time. He took care of us, but it wasn't for a long amount of time.
Right.
He did end up meeting my stepmom. He did end up getting married because he knew he had to work. He needed a woman there to be able to take care of things. It's kind of like, again, I'm not saying men cannot do it. I'm just saying a lot of times
It doesn't happen.
A lot of times it doesn't happen because it's harder.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I'm saying that it can be hard, but I'm not gonna say that, like, oh, men can't do it, because we absolutely can.
Yeah. There are
It's
lots
just
of
you
men
don't see it a lot. But yeah, there's probably tons of men that don't do it. But you don't get the accolades for it because there's a lot of women that do it as well.
I think single dads do get the gratitude.
I hear a lot about single dads.
I feel like a lot of movies that we watch end up having like single dads, especially like a lot of TV shows. I always think about like the one on Netflix. Man, I'm drawing a blank now on the name of it. I think it's like The Kissing Booth or no, it's the one where all the boys I liked or something like that.
Nope.
Man, it's gonna bother me.
I was saying I never heard this movie, even if because I was gonna say like name who's in it, but these both
All the Boys I've Loved Before, and it's a really cute. It's 3 movies. It's about a girl. She ends up falling in love with this dude. Blah blah blah. Anyways, it's on Netflix. If you ever have some time, we should watch it. But there's a single dad in that, and you always think about like the Disney movies. A lot of times it's single fathers. I mean, they always kill off the mama for whatever reason. A lot of these kid movies. It's a lot of movies that show like single dads and men taking care of them.
Like this. We got Mufasa.
Yes, Mufasa did that.
I don't know if is that Disney though. That was Disney. Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, so I feel like they do try and show it a lot, like on TV. I feel like a lot of movies and TV shows and things like that do try and show like single fathers raising their kids alone and things like that. I just feel like, and again, maybe I should backtrack and say that men are capable of doing it. I just feel like men who have not done it from the time that their child was small or it didn't occur because of the wife passing away, I feel like it's a lot less likely. It's a lot less likely that grandma or auntie or somebody else is not spending 50% of that time with the child. And that's just how I feel. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, but I just feel like a lot of times if you come across these single dads, like their mom is like the mother. She's like helping pick up the kids from daycare and help do the laundry and doing the grocery shopping and the cooking and stuff like that. Like, she's like really involved. Like, and that's not single parenting.
Are they living with the mom?
Sometimes they do. But sometimes, you know, like you have like I'll give you an example. Like sometimes during the summer, my son would go and stay with my parents for a few weeks, or like sometimes even a couple of months because I was working and I didn't want to have to pay for daycare. So he would like take a break from daycare and he would go and he would stay with my parents. Like he was just going to spend the summer from like June to like July or something like that, or from like July to like mid-August, like sometimes like 6 weeks. He would go up there, and then sometimes he would just stay with me. It just depends on, you know, how it went. But either way it goes, like, I feel like a lot of times when you have, like, because I always see, like, the videos where it's, like, the dude, like, gets his kid for the weekend and he goes straight over to his mama house. And he with the baby and the mama is cooking and cleaning and feeding and putting the baby to sleep and doing everything. And the dude is just kind of like, I got my baby for the weekend. But do you really have your baby for the weekend? Or do your mama have the baby for the weekend? The grandma has the baby for the weekend.
Grandma's the baby.
It's kind of, so when I see stuff like that, I'm just like, yes, they may call it single parenting, but it's like, you're not really raising your kid if you not raising your kid.
If you have a community to help you.
No, not if you have a community to help you, because there's nothing wrong with having a community to help you. But if your kid spends more time with other people than they do with you, you're not really raising that kid. You know what I mean? Like, if your kid goes to you and they're like, Grandma, I'm hungry, versus like, Daddy, I'm hungry. You know what I mean? Like, maybe grandma is the one who's doing most of the providing and not really the dad. And the dad can call himself a single dad, but he's not really raising that kid. So, and it might not be a grandma. It could be an auntie. It could be a cousin. It could be a sister. It could be whatever. But I think a lot of times, and there's nothing wrong with that if you need it. You know what I mean? Like, if you got a job that requires you to be away all day long in order to financially provide, then you gotta do what you gotta do. There's no shame. There's no shame in parenting. Just like this girl, there's no shame in you being like, how these kids? I'm gonna not be present all the time. I've been present for the last 17 years for the oldest one, 11 and 8. It's like, it's your turn. Go ahead, do your thing, figure it out. There's nothing wrong with either way.
Yeah, going back once again, this is what he asked. This is what he wanted. He went to court. He said, "I want custody of these kids," and then he got them, and then he moved. I need to know his mindset. I need to know the things, like, because I know, like, we don't know for sure what the case is.
Right.
I need to know, like, what if she was proven to be unfit, or if it really was just like he was just, you know, he just had the money for lawyers like that. And because I do get her, like, yo, this is costing. This is money I could be spending on my kids, on the kids. Yeah, you're right. On the kids, I'm spending them towards the lawyer. And like you said, I'm calling off work because I've been on her side of that. I've been on her side, so I'm getting away from the mic. I've been on her side of that as well, and it's just like, yeah, it's just getting very expensive, and it's taking away from things I can be doing, and I'm trying to get hired on to this job as a full-time employee. So it's like,
I can't keep calling off to go to court all the time. I can't keep, living paycheck to paycheck.
So then you get there, and you like, well, yeah, like you said, this is what you wanted, this is what you got. I will be back. I will see you next week.
Right. I'll be there on my time to visit the kid.
On my days.
Right.
Because this probably didn't have to go down like this, but this is where it's at. So
and I only feel that way over people who fight over custody. Because at the end of the day, I am all for just because you pay child support does not mean that you should not physically be there for your kids, and does not mean that you should not chip in extra when the kid needs it. I'm all for that. But if a parent is like if a woman is like, I want full custody of the kid, I don't want you to see the kids except for these many days, and I want to really restrict you, and it's got to be what's it called?
What?
The visitations.
Like what? Like a monitor?
Yeah, thank you. Monitor visitations. Like if I want to, they're like being like really particular about it, and it's like, well, Queen, you want to be a single parent. You just want the check at that point. You want to be spiteful. You want to be controlling. You want to use the children as pawns. Be a single parent. Do it all by yourself. Figure it out on your own. Do not call him in the middle of the night when the kids are sick. You wanted full custody. You said you could do this by yourself. You figure that shit out. Like, you asked for this. I'm all for people who get in the court and they ask for this shit. Do it.
When you get it.
Do it. Because that's what you wanted. Do it. But for the rest of us who are just like, hey, I don't want to fucking take care of my kid all the time. It's your turn. You do your part. Like, go ahead. Let me get a couple of weeks of a break. You have them, and then I'll take them back. Let's split everything 50-50. I'll pay my half. You pay your half. Like, the rest, that's what most of us want, right? And then we end up getting stuck with actually, we're going to pay 90% of the cost. The other parent's going to pay 10. And then you're going to have the kid 99% of the time, and they'll pop up for that one weekend for the birthday or Christmas or some shit like that and be like, woo, I'm a dad or I'm a mom, and then go and disappear. Like, that's what most of us deal with, but not by choice, by force. So those are the two differences. And for him, I feel like he asked for it, so he cannot then turn around and be like, I helped her out when she had the kids full time. Yeah, nigga, because she wasn't forced. She wasn't telling you can't have your kids. She wasn't keeping you away from your kids. You're keeping her. You moved to a whole
he moved
state
away
on purpose.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think he thought that part through, which is crazy because it's just like I know that she don't live I don't know how far away they live from each other.
Hours.
I know that she don't live down the street no more. So I know that I know this is gonna be a maybe a 10-hour drive. I'm not sure if Cincinnati to Georgia because I'll automatically go to Atlanta. But he might not be in Atlanta, but it's still like that's still a couple state lines.
Or at least a 2-hour flight, 2.5
So
hour
I wonder, so if she was to say, yes, I'll come get the kids.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Not even tomorrow, because it's like, she probably got to prepare. She probably got to take time off work, so she got to get all of that to be ready. I'll be there next week. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think he called on purpose because she was going to Cabo?
I think he did. I'm for sure he did, because he wanted to be. Because I don't know what he expected her to do. And I imagine that she probably told the kids or him, like, hey, I'm gonna be out of town. I'm gonna be out of town this week. And he like, let me start some shit with you real quick.
Let me go on her vacation.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I want to go to Cabo. So
yeah, he probably like, I don't get to go to Cabo. I got the kids. You going to Cabo and I'm here with the kids. Nigga, that's what you asked for. Exactly. You asked for it.
Don't take them kids to the beach. Don't.
Back of the goddamn truck. Be fine. Let me see the world.
Sound like a road trip.
All right, let's road trip with the kids.
I
life, some shit parents be doing. Truck life.
Hey, he could do that. Like I said, if he's
let the 17-year-old drive. Who knows? Beyond me. I don't think he'll drive a truck.
No, but he can start practicing. Maybe he can get his CDL and go crazy. Now he making money, and now he take the 11-year-old and dad take the 7-year-old, and we'll meet back up. And yet now both of y'all making money, and now y'all can drive the Cabo in the truck.
Now, I came across that, and then I went down the feeds, and of course people were reacting to it. I was leaving the comments, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah. And people were like, so you mad because you got what you asked for? And I'm like, essentially, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I gotta understand. This is why I'm like, I gotta know his mindset, because I don't know what he expected to happen. Like, was she supposed to follow him to Georgia because the kids are there? Like,
I don't know. And again, I go back to he keeps saying she's a bad mom.
That's what, but
she's a bad mom. That's why I took the kids away from her. Why did you expect her to be different?
Yeah.
If she's horrible, why are you expecting her to be different?
Not even if she say she is horrible. Why do you need her to come get him? She's terrible. She's bad. She shouldn't be getting these kids.
She was unreliable. Yeah. That's why you took the kids.
So at this point, you gotta have something. You gotta have your plan B. You know what I mean? Like, I'll ask mom first out of respect, but I know I need a plan B because mom is unreliable, or she's terrible, or she forgets, or whatever. Right. It's like, you gotta have your plan B.
Yes, I agree. So yeah, I just thought it was like, yeah, he just wanted to waste the internet's time, or plot twist. Because I was like, what if they plan this together? Because he did share her video on his page, but he put on it like she lying.
Oh, yeah.
And people were like, oh, so you thought you were going to share this and we were going to be on your side. Yeah. Like, nah, nigga, we on hers. No, and so that's why I was like, what if they did this together so they can go viral?
Just go viral. No, you know what I mean? That's always, these days, there's always a chance. But I do say I do love a video where people jump on and they think like, oh, the world's going to be on my side. And it's like, actually, you're
wrong. That's you're an asshole in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
am I the asshole? Yep.
No, honestly, I love that. Like I said, I love hearing a story and somebody explaining it, and then you just hear like, yeah, you sound like you in the wrong here. They over here, you know, like, this motherfucker gonna tell me to go do my job. Like at your job, they told you to work. Okay. Right. So he's surprised that when he got custody, he had to take care of these kids. Like,
by himself. And he wanted full custody. Now he's surprised that he has to figure out.
Yeah. Consider. He moved to a different state. That's why I was like, what did you think was gonna happen? So yeah.
He thought she was gonna follow him. Maybe he thought like, oh, she really cared about her kids. She gonna follow me to Georgia. And she was like, joke's on you, nigga. I'm going to Cabo. Catch me in Mexico.
Sounds like a vacation. Go for it, man. Yeah.
Baby mama's up. Baby daddy's down.
I will say, brother, you set us back.
Lead them kids with them niggas, girls. Drop them kids off and run away.
You set us back a little bit, man. We gonna have to. Now we got to be a little more trash. We got to up the bar. With Casper say, how low can you go?
Yeah, I just was like, whoa, that didn't go how you planned.
All right. Tell you what, let's do our sports section, and then we can get out of here, babe.
Sure.
Okay. So NBA Finals, tied 1-1.
The Pacers.
Okay. Oklahoma City and the Pacers. Halliburton looks like he's doing good. SGA is doing good. Are you still feeling confident with your pick?
Who did I pick?
I think pick OKC.
Yeah, because the Pacers really weren't looking too good, but apparently they're doing really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're
the underdog for sure.
They definitely are, but
I don't like them. So
the Pacers. Why don't you like the Pacers?
Because they're Indian.
And so is this going back to the Caitlin Clark thing?
Yes, because Caitlin Clark has a group chat with some of the Pacers.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're basketball players.
Yeah, I don't care.
But that they don't have anything to do. She has no influence over the NBA.
I didn't say she did.
But just because they share the stage.
I don't like your friend.
Okay.
So I want you to lose. Simple.
So you got them going in.
Pretty logical, I think.
So you got them going in. What? How many games do you think?
I think it's gonna go to 5.
5 games. Oklahoma City 4.
No, 6 games.
6 games, 4-2. Okay. I'm with you on that. Honestly, I like a good underdog story, so I want the Pacers to win. But at the beginning of the playoffs, I chose OKC to win because they're young and they got really good chemistry together. The Pacers kind of came out of nowhere. Like, people, they were a good team, but people didn't expect this out of them. So they're playing better than expected. but okay, Oklahoma City has been the same throughout the entire
Consistent.
system. Yeah, the whole season, and they have this connection that it's like you can't really teach that in basketball.
Well, I'm gonna say this. This is on camera. If the Indiana Pacers win, then we know that the NBA is rigged
Why? How so?
because they're trying to set it up for Indiana Fever to win the WNBA, and then they're gonna have the 2 championships in Indiana.
No, Indiana Fever are still not that good. Caitlin Clark is really good. They're an okay team, but they're not that good. I don't think they're that good.
How is Indiana
Oh,
Pacers?
are you talking about? Okay, that's a good point.
Were they that good?
They were equivalency into the WNBA. The Indiana Pacers were playing better than the Fever. Yeah, the Fever still got like 2-3 pieces that they need before they can make a deep run. Unless,
Because I think, what was it, Liberty that won the championship?
it could have been. That's a good question. Sure.
I think Liberty won the WNBA championship.
I can't remember. I think it was them in Minnesota in the finals, but I can't remember who won.
Yeah.
In the WNBA finals. So yeah. And then one more thing, really quickly.
Hockey.
No, God no.
Travis Kelce looking like a white boy now.
Well, yeah, he lost his sauce.
I like it. He looks cute with the hair though. I'm like, y'all, he look like an authentic white boy. I was like, this is the reverse. You know how they have like the white or the black girl effect?
And
this is like the reverse of the black girl effect.
He lost it. He was like, I wouldn't hang out. Before, when he was dating, what's her name, Jayla, something like that. When he was dating the other chick, I was like, I can see myself hanging out with him. I see him now, and it's just like,
he have long. I think he cute with long hair. I don't like.
I don't know about cute. He don't look hang out with him.
After 5 shadow beard, but I like the hair.
Mm-mm.
I like the hair. I think he's very cute. He's very like a very white boy cute.
He look like he'll bust out that hard R at any moment.
I don't know about that. He still seems liberal.
I don't know.
He looks like a liberal white boy.
Well,
he don't look like a black white boy no more. He don't like he hang out with black people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it's like. He kind of like.
But he looked like he would hang out with black people and be cool. Like if you go on vacation, you meet the white people on vacation, they're just like partying with you. That's what he looked like.
He looked.
But then he go back home to his white people.
I was gonna say, yeah, he looked like, okay, I can get you with that, but I don't like that. I don't like that. He looked like he's gonna say the word in the car. Like he gonna listen to Kendrick. He gonna say every last word.
But you're not gonna say nigger.
Yeah, he meant. Nah, he look now. His look now. He saying it with.
I disagree, and I'm a woman, right. So my opinion matters more on his looks.
Right. Well, last thing, Lil Wayne dropped his most recent album, The Carter 6.
You thought I listened to that?
I know you listened to it.
It wasn't that good.
It is, and that's what a lot of people are saying. I am here to say,
you listened to it?
Yes, it is not the best Carter. However, it's not that bad. There's like he is nothing new that he's doing, but he still comes with, I don't know. Okay, that sounds like that on me. I was gonna say, because I inhaled at the same time. He's not doing anything new on here, but it's still very consistent. So he didn't take it beyond. Hold on. Everybody saying that is bad. It is not that bad. It's decent. I would give it a 6 out of 10. However, like I said, it doesn't push the envelope. But as far as bars wise, he brings the bars and the beats are good. Give or take, maybe 3 songs.
I was about to say, are there any skips? Can you listen to it straight through, or is it something like, I would skip that?
So unfortunately,
that's the factor.
So I didn't skip through the first time. The second time, because I listened to it on the train, and so the second time on my way back, I was like, okay, let me go back to this song, and then it's like there's this one song with Bono, like that. But so it's not bad. And like I said, I've been seeing the reviews about, this shit is trash. It's terrible. It's not trash. It's okay.
Well, you look like you're a part of his target markets.
I'm not though. Like, well, I am. Yeah,
You
because
are.
he was, you know,
He makes his music for 30-something-year-old black dudes and white boys, white teenagers.
Damn. I was gonna say, but it's like I think I seen the picture of one of his concerts, and that's exactly what it was. Yeah, like I said, he's a little bit past his prime, but he does the same thing he do, and also it's like because when he was at his hardest was around my teenage years, 16. I want to say like from 16 to 22, he couldn't. There's nothing he couldn't. I know, right? There's nothing he couldn't do that wasn't fire. So I just want to put that out there that it's not a trash album. It's okay.
Okay.
All right.
I believe you. I'm not listening to it.
I know it's not. It's you. I don't think you would enjoy it at all.
I just feel like I don't like Lil Wayne. I like his old music when I was in high school. I just don't think I would listen to his music now.
Yeah. Well, no, that's his last. Because I don't know if he dropped when I was like 30. He had dropped one album when I said like literally because I remember I was going on a road trip for my 30th birthday, and he had dropped his. I don't know if it was Carter 4, Carter 5. I don't know. He had dropped one of the Carter albums, and it was like, this is fire. This is heat. And this one was just like, okay. I like this song. I like that song.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what it is. But he's not translating over. I think this should be the last one.
He should retire.
I think if he's not doing a feature, he should chill.
Has he done any features recently?
Not that I know of, but I haven't really been listening to music lately. So that's why I wanted to bring this up, because this is the first time I actually listened to somebody's whole album since, I want to say like Drake dropped in February.
I was going to say, what was the last album I listened to? I'm trying to think. I know I listened to Sierra's remix yesterday, and I thought that was pretty good with Tiana and Normani. It's pretty good.
I'd have to hear it. It sounds familiar, but I'd have to hear it.
Oh. And I don't know if I like the song by Sierra because it was on TikTok or if I like it.
Sierra, the Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Oh, she dropped a new song?
Yeah, the Ecstasy.
I think
the chair challenge.
Yeah,
that was on
okay.
TikTok.
Yeah. Well, yeah, all right. Well, okay, I don't know.
What's wrong?
I don't need
What are you
to.
gonna say?
You don't need to share every thought you have. We just have these mics in front of us. That doesn't mean every thought needs to come out.
Whatever. I just, like I said, I thought I liked the song and I like the remix too. I like the verses that Tiana Taylor and Normani have on there. Yeah, I don't remember the last album that I listened to. I want to say maybe it was Drake.
Because actually, no, I did listen, but it was I did have another. It was that country rapper artist. I did listen to his album. I'm gonna say King Ego or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's all we wanted to do. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, babe?
No. Fuck Trump. Also, if anybody wants to know why, because I want to know why. I guess I do got something to add. My bad. If anybody wants to know why, because I want to know why the ship that sailed over to Israel is not in the news. These people were kidnapped in the last 72 hours where they were trying to deliver aid to people in Gaza that are being starved. There's a fucking barricade around them. They can't get access to food and water and medication. And they're setting up traps for these people in Gaza so that they can attack the Hamas people. And I'm like, why is this not on the news? Why are we not talking about this more? And this is not anti-Jew talk. Nobody hate Jews. We hate genocide. We hate people who are doing evil shit like starving children and people and killing them for no fucking reason. That's what we hate. Nobody hates Jewish people by being pro-Palestine. That does not equal we hate the other people. We're saying you're wrong for what you're doing. It's not nice. It's evil. And you should stop it. It's a fucking piece of land that you guys are fighting over with that does not belong to anybody. Because newsflash, People don't fucking own the earth. And we need to stop doing this. Why can't people just live where the fuck they were living already? The end.
Well, with that, no, I did do have one more. If you catch a fish, you eat for a day. But if I teach you to fish, you eat for a lifetime. So one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
That's what you felt like needs to follow that up? I'm glad. Have a good night.
Well, with this, we would like to thank y'all for joining us on the podcast. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Weird Just Saying Podcast, TikTok at the Weird Just Saying Pod. Like, subscribe, comment,
Share with a friend.
Share with a friend. All the crazy things. Smash that like button. Smash that notification button.
Yes.
Bangers, bangers, bangers. All 2025. We're just bringing heat. All 2025.
Oh, we're shooting people?
We're bringing heat. Does that mean
I thought you said bang, bang, bang.
No, I said bangers, bangers, bangers. All 2025.
I'm sorry. I'm 35. I'm gonna act like it. All right.
All right, y'all. Bye.